Hi everyone. We're going to do a quick collective general reading for you guys today. We're going to be seeing what you need to release, what you need to retain. We're going to use some tarot and some oracle cards. I've already pre-shuffled everything. So we're just going to go ahead and split the deck, and we're going to go ahead and see what it is you need to release. So with all that being said, I'm going to pick a few cards here. What does the collective need to release? And what does the collective need to retain? All right, we're going to do the same with the oracle here. What does the collective need to release? And what do they need to retain? Let's see. So let's check it out, guys. What do you need to release? Wow, the 10 of Cups, Pisces energy. Let's see what else is with that. The Chariot, Cancer energy. Damn. What's with that? Courage. Interesting. Let's see. What do you need to retain? Wow. Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And the 8 of Swords. More Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Commitment. This is very interesting. It went from happiness and passion and colorful energy to very muted colors, like, you know, a little bit more cold energy over here. So what you need to release, this is a particular message for someone. It's not going to resonate for everyone. So if this is not your story, don't take it. It's telling me here, you need to release. First of all, you need to have the courage to release this. There could be a connection that you're in, a marriage, a long-term commitment, some sort of connection with somebody that makes you feel like you want to, on most days, makes you feel like you just want to pick up and go. I feel like there is this element of happiness, emotional fulfillment, but I feel like this is something that pushes you, pushes your limits, pushes your success, like stops your success. I feel like there's some sort of sacrifice that you've made here in order to have a little bit of happiness. I mean, the 10 of Cups is an emotional fulfillment. It's abundance in emotions, right? But the Chariot talks about moving forward, and you're alone in that chariot, and you're taking great speed. I feel like you need to release this relationship and have the courage to walk away from this. This only resonates for you if there's a energy with this commitment that does not feel good on most days, that makes you feel like you just want to jump in your car and never turn back. If this makes you feel some days it's the most happiest relationship, and some days you just want to be alone, and some days you just wish you had the courage to leave, this could be your message. If you're in a happy, loving connection, don't take it, okay? If you're in a happy connection, it could be telling me here that you need to release the need to control things in this relationship, to have the courage to let the other person lead you, to, you know, allow perhaps maybe some travel, or have some courage to change something in the way of this marriage or relationship in order to see a leveling up in the emotional fulfillment. But my first intuition here when seeing these cards is you need to have the courage to move on from a commitment of love, somebody that you've invested with. Could have been for 10 years or more, 10 months. Something that, like I said, if there is a negative or a toxic energy beside this or within this connection that sometimes make you feel like I should just leave, that's your instincts, that's your intuition, that's your gut telling you to do it. Have the courage to just get up and go. Make sure you have a safe exit plan. Make sure you have things in line for it to be a successful exit. I feel like there's a lot more that you could be receiving if you make this decision to release whatever this is. Could even be telling me you need to have the courage to release something that's already ended. The 10 is the end of a cycle. So take that how it resonates, guys. What you need to retain: your confidence, your assurity that that decision is the right decision. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has been through a divorce, someone who has lost a partnership, who has come out on the other end of it with a little bit of a colder view of relationships or how the world is around them. You can see she's in a cold, icy environment. You could be gaining a lot of wisdom from releasing this, having the courage to release something that made you emotionally fulfilled. You know, it doesn't even have to be a marriage. It could just be something that was once making you happy, something that brought you joy, that you thought brought you a lot of peace and love. Maybe you need to have the courage to walk away from that, whether it's a job, a family, whatever it is, like a husband or a wife. And I feel like this, you need to retain the confidence in the decision that you've made. The Queen of Swords speaks truth. They see it, they say it, they feel it, they say it. They don't sugarcoat anything. And I feel like what you need to retain is the feeling of how this connection made you feel. You need to remember that when you maybe doubt your decision that you've made, you need to remember and retain the feeling of how you felt trapped, how you felt like you couldn't see through the relationship. You couldn't see a way out. You couldn't see how to untie yourself in this self-imposed prison. I feel like you sacrificed because it was due to a commitment. It was something that you felt loyal to, like you couldn't escape out of obligation, out of guilt. I feel like you didn't want to see this truth, and you didn't want to untie yourself out of these chains and out of these ropes. But I feel like you need to retain commitment to your decision, commitment to yourself, commitment to remembering how you were so up in your head about something that was once so beautiful. It required you to have a lot of courage to find the strength to move on. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck here. Oh my God, didn't I just say strength? I'm getting heavy Leo energy here. Yeah, there's some sort of strength. Look at the butterfly. Okay, the butterfly talks about transformation. You need to have the strength to have the courage to get in that chariot and move away. Psychic abilities. Wow. I feel like you have a very high connection to spirit. You have a third eye awakened here. You're able to see the truth. And I feel like you ignore the truth here. The truth is all around you. You need to retain that truth. You need to retain that feeling of how you felt trapped, so that, I mean, don't live with that feeling, but just remember it whenever you doubt a decision that you've made. You need to commit to that decision and remember why you made that decision, because it was a very difficult decision. But your intuition, this is the High Priestess, was talking to you, was sending you signals, messages. It was almost like you felt like pushed. Interesting. Let's see what's on the bottom of the tarot. The Two of Wands. Sagittarius, Aries, Leo energy. And we've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius with the Four of Swords. Yeah. This is you often daydreaming about making a plan to escape, making a plan to expand your horizons. This person has the world in her hands, and she's got exciting new possibilities that she's seeing that are available to her. And she looks out into the distance and says, I'm going to make a backup plan. I'm going to make a plan. If I do, you know, put this plan in motion, it's go time. And I feel like you've really thought about this before you took action to make that plan. You've maybe spent many moon cycles thinking about it. This is the Four of Swords. This is somebody who takes a time out to reflect, rest, and to really think about the decisions. Look at that, but those butterflies again. These are your thoughts. These are transformations. occurring all around you in your mind. It's like your mind is transforming here, but you're in a still energy. You're praying about this, and I feel like this is the Four of Swords, where you're not fighting at this time. You've already gone through the Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak, the pain, the suffering. And now with the Four of Swords, it's like you've hung up the fighting swords, so you don't have to fight anymore. You don't have to push forward. You can just relax and really contemplate these plans that you can make for yourself here. You need to commit to whatever decision you make, guys. If you have a decision that you've made, don't go back on it. Don't get stuck in your head about it. Okay, you've been in this energy for far too long. The moon is lit behind your head there. That's your intuition. That's your emotional connectedness to spirit, telling you to trust in your intuition. Okay, so I hope that that helped whoever it needed to reach. And if you liked that message, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.